real close to 40. So I was like, yeah, you was rich.
Yeah.
So what roles did you rotate in that program?
So actually, I didn't finish the program. So actually, I got fired from my first job. That was my first job out of college, and I got fired. So
Did you get fired on your day off?
I did not. But for me, for that, I got fired based off of corporate politics. I didn't even get fired for not doing my work or anything. Just it was more so not knowing how to navigate through corporate America. That's really what got me fired. So during my time there, I moved, living in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I moved to Columbus, Ohio. I'm the only one there. I don't have any friends. I'm in a relationship. I was in a 4-year relationship during that time. So we are now long distance. I'm by myself. I'm out here, and it's depressing. And I had a friend who I ended up getting him a job at Cardinal Health with me, but he was out in Chicago, and I was by myself, and I was really depressed, and that really took a toll on my mental health. And I would show up doing the bare minimum, I would just do my job and go home. And my manager didn't like that, especially being an African American. In that, where you see if there's a black person there, they're excelling. And when you're not excelling, you stand out. When you have all these black people that are there with you and they're just going over the top and doing that, and when you're not doing that, you're looked upon and you're like, okay, what's wrong with you? You're not doing the best. And from that, with my depression going on, my managers just started to
Dog pound?
Yeah, just take note on things that was going on. So, as the time was going on, I was there for about 3 months. And then my manager, we ended up having a one-on-one, and she calls me out and she says, I want to put you on a PIP.
Oh, yeah. That means it's time to dip.
Right. Which I didn't know at the time, right? And so she was like, I'm putting you on a PIP. And then she names out the reasons why she wants to put me on a PIP. And so those being, the first reason was, what's the first reason? The first reason was she went on a vacation, right? So she was gone PTO for a week. And during that vacation, I got sick one day. So it was like a Wednesday, I got sick. And on our team, it was just myself who was a full-time employee, and we had one of my coworkers who was full-time. So it was just the 3 of us. And my coworker took all of my boss's responsibilities while she was gone. So I was sick one day, and I said, hey, I'm not going to be in the office, send an email to her. And when my manager got back, she was like, nobody knew where you were at. You should have told another department, just, so she deemed that as an issue. A second reason was a part of the rotational program. We had a conference, and at the conference was from Monday to Thursday. And I decided I wanted to be off Friday because I'm like, the conference is Monday to Thursday. I'm not coming to work on Friday. So I had let her know that, hey, for this, I'm not going to be in the office on Friday. And mysteriously, she didn't know that I was not going to be there on Friday. So I was dinged for that.
Did you email her?
Yeah, no, I didn't. And I didn't document. This was in a one-on-one, and I didn't document it. Mm-hmm. Right. So, so she was like, you never told me this. I didn't know you were off office on Friday. Like, I didn't know until I wrote you into all your out of office email, and you shouldn't have been out. So that was the second thing. The third thing was, she was like, work starts at 8:00. So at 8:00, you don't need to be walking in the door at 8:00, swiping your badge. You need to be at your desk. And so she was like counting.
That's a little micromanagement stuff like that. I hate that.
Yeah. So me, not knowing all of this stuff where the things I just mentioned, I never documented my one-on-ones. I didn't, just knew to how to navigate through this. And so when she put me on the PIP, I'm just thinking, oh, okay, well, I'll just do, what it takes, what she's telling me to get off the PIP. I'm just going to do it because I'm like, I'm a good worker. I'll just do all the stuff that she's telling me to do, and I'm going to get off the PIP. And because, my parents was really the only people that I told that I was on it because I was embarrassed. I'm in a 3-year rotational program, and I'm on a PIP, months into this program. And so I told them, and my parents are military background. And so for them, when something happens, you get reprimanded in the military, you do what you're supposed to do, check it off, you move on. And so for them, they didn't have the knowledge to tell me how do you, finesse in your way, navigate through corporate politics. And so from there, they was like, hey, just do what you need to do. just do everything she tells you to do. I end up doing that. And then the beginning of Thanksgiving, you know, my PIP ended the week before Thanksgiving, right? So, you know, Thanksgiving, you know, I'm thinking we completed it. She was like, yeah, you did everything. We're done. I go home for Thanksgiving, and then I come back the following week, which is the first week of December.
Your badge don't work.
No, it was Monday, right? You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing well, thinking, excited. That meeting from HR get put on my that 4:00 meeting, and they're like, yeah, Terri, you're gonna have to. This is gonna be your last day, and I'm like, but I did everything that was on the PIP, like, and they were like, she was like, well, I just don't think you're a good fit, like. And I'm like, but I did everything that you told me to do. And she was like, well, I just don't think you're a good fit. And I just packed up my stuff. I was devastated. And I just cried. I cried. I called my dad. The next day, he like flew out of Ohio. We packed up my stuff. Like the next day, I was out of there. I was back home. So